Hey everyone, welcome to my recording. This is Jasmine from New Paradigm Beings. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad to be back to give to offer my presence to others and to join the community once again. I am back in a different part of Texas. I am officially moved out of Austin and I visit periodically, but I am happy to be done with that part of my transition, and I'm very excited to be moving on to the next adventures. So, with that being said, I do want to. Today is 999, September 9th of an 11 numerical year. And you can say the numerical 1 and 8 equals 9. We're kind of in a 999 cycle. I have been seeing 999 pretty frequently and almost in an exaggerated form. Like I get a lot of multiple 7s and a lot of multiple 9 sequences, and I think that a lot of us are being pushed to complete complete the ends of older projects in lieu of beginning new ones. Okay, so that's what I have on my heart at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and give us a collective reading. It's for whoever you are. It doesn't have to be twin flame specific. Whoever resonates with the energies or the advice I have to offer, I am very happy to give it. After this video, I will be exposing a surprise for everyone out there in the YouTube community. So hang tight for the second part of this. But I just want to go ahead and give us a warm welcome to September. The Virgo energies, by the way. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be in Virgo because it feels like we're settling back into the ground. Like we're getting we're like really being rooted back on Earth. I don't know, like everything's just like I feel the spaceship's just kind of settling down into the ground and like being very sensible, very simple. I don't know, it's very needed. It's very comforting for me. I'm really glad that we're in the Virgo energy. And we're all doing great. We're all learning our lessons, especially from the planetary retrograde. I also want to introduce a new deck of mine. Excuse me. Excuse me. I have gifted away my mermaids and dolphins oracle deck, and I've picked up this new deck called the Chakra Energy Cards. This was suggested to me by wonderful readers, Maya and Zaire, and I'm very glad that this is. Yes, this is recommended to me, and I got this off of Amazon. Very glad to have this in my possession. It's extremely useful for me. Extremely useful for me. They're so detailed and in depth and very warm and very resonant. So those are going to be my new oracle cards. All right. So without further ado, of course, I'm going to be using the Wildwood Tarot deck, for those of you who are still familiar. And I'm just going to go ahead and get on with our reading. Okay. Let's go down here. Okay. Can everyone see? Let me turn up my brightness. Okay. All right. I have the green man right here. He's such a big help. Okay. My little crystal friends. Feather wand made by a wonderful friend of mine. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath, and you can as well. You can take a deep breath with me. We're just going to call upon our guides and angels and spirits. I pick up a lot of contemplative silence for this fall. A lot of people are going to be doing a lot less partying or socializing, so to speak, and a lot more incubating and getting our missions started. Okay, if that makes any sense. I'm going to add a candle for ambience. All right. All right, that's exciting. We've worked so hard. I basically spent the entire summer just incubating, or I'm sorry, just basically transitioning and moving on to the next of things. I'm very happy to be going on to the next thing. It's definitely time to settle into a new way. Okay. All right. Thank you for this time of communion with ourselves and with those of the outside world. May we continue to come together in peace, harmony, and good vibes. And an open heart. Okay. All right, so the first card I get is the Eight of Stones. This represents skill. You can see a man working quite diligently on his craft. Something that he was blessed with and ordained with his two hands, to make his tools, to make more tools, so that his place on earth is dignified and solidified. Okay, so that represents being in our cave of study and making ourselves of use. How about this? It's we're talking our walk and walking our talk right now. When we declared that we would be following our own paths and not that of any outside expectation, the Eight of Stones is giving us back good karma for following the path of the divine. For that reason, we're basically on our way. We're on our way to all of the things that we have ever really dreamed about, and are no longer we're no longer trying to fit a square into a circle, and we're no longer trying to keep the left hand from knowing what the right hand is doing. We're working in unison, and we're working without unnecessary conflict. Good. Okay. Okay, next I have the Page of Stones. I have the links. Okay. Okay. So the links is a very skilled ground traveler. I picture a lot of us really being brave with our travel, and understanding that sometimes the work of the divine does not follow the rules or the restrictions of your average, possibly your average job expectations or work expectations. you have many people who are required to travel for work and they are protected. And you have others who are, or who are definitely not able to travel even for recreation at times that they would like to due to their professions. And we all have different, we all have different cards to deal with. But for those of us most of us who have the ordinance to follow an enlightening path, or just our own personal path, and not judging other paths or allowing ourselves to succumb to outside judgment. We are loosening our muscles, we're stretching our muscles to get used to purging the fallacy of distance and mileage. We can understand that one day Spirit calls us to somewhere like New Orleans, and we have a convention, and we have a deep communion with Spirit, and that might suddenly we're called to Malta because there's a certain teacher, a certain master that's out there, and we feel called to go and take certain classes or a certain certification. And we're just getting used to being like, oh, I can go here, oh, I can go there, because that's in my plan. And not be worried about the big things that used to seem so big, like dollar signs and planes and luggage and, oh my God, 30,000 miles away. Because those things become essentially futile. The world is ours, and we understand what it means to be equipped with the necessary equipped necessarily to be able to fulfill our soul's desires, because they are with the divine. So this represents being taken care of by God on the earthly level. It seemed like the most of our worries at one point, but now, like, they've definitely transitioned into the least of our worries. How are we going to do this? How am I going to move here? How am I going to do this? Well, stop, think, listen, or just hear. And it will turn out to be clear to you. And now it's just up to you to go and move your foot. Move your feet. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're getting into more spiritual fulfillment here. Excuse me. All right, here we have the Ten of Vessels. This is one of my favorite cards, and it needs very little introduction. As you see here, all of the vessels are basically drowning and overflowing by the waterfall. This card is called Happiness. That is complete emotional fulfillment. It's almost like mania. And I don't mean that as a mania that's just like doomed to have a crash. I mean that's a mania that that stays within us. When we have that communion with Spirit, when we have that communion with our inner child, and just being in the moment and realizing, wow, everything around me and everything in front of me is exactly how I would have ever wanted it. And then you become washed over with that supernatural power, that supernatural contentment, and you just let it be. That's what we're leading ourselves towards. That's our soul's goal. The soul's goal is just to be expressed and to not be hindered by that. Okay. Okay, so our obedience, as I say, mom knows best, God knows best. Well, our obedience to our higher self, unwittingly should show, and it will show. You'll feel it when you're in alignment with everything that you've ever felt. Okay. When you give that a chance, and when you move, when your spirit says go, you go. Okay. I also hear meditation, taking care of your central nervous system. Being careful what you decide to let into your space. Like being around negative news themes and gossip and all these other damaging and doom-worthy, what's it called? Doom-worthy articles should be over with. Just coming into a space of love and understanding, and understanding that all is one. Not judging. Just releasing, what other people feel they need to do to keep their world spherical. It has nothing to do with you and your happiness. Just be able to release that. Just be able to actually just let go. Like, come into a space of neutrality and be like, okay. Because I understand sometimes, you're kind of locked in the living room and your grandparents just blast the television. And you can exist in, if you're not able to avoid something like that. It's not that it's impossible to come to a space of neutrality. Neutrality, all that peace is actually within. It has nothing to do with whether or not a television is on. But if you can help it, seek more serenity. Okay. Now we have the green woman. Okay. The green woman represents the evolution of the divine feminine and her relevance on Earth. A lot of you may be experiencing promotional activity. Like maybe some of you have graduated, become certified. A lot of you have become more relevant in the public eye. What else? Taking on just newer responsibilities, especially for females. Maybe you've hit a goal or a financial goal. Many of us have finally got to this very independent part of our lives. You've just reached self-employment. You've just reached, maybe you've reached the financial freedom. Okay. This is only the beginning. Like there's so much more that is going to be happening in the domestic sphere, but showing up a little more in the public sphere. Okay, so this is like a sign of graduation and taking on more responsibility. That has with it greater rewards. Okay. All right. Oh, I really do have to say that these cards have been so beautiful. They've been so beautiful. there's such an even mixture of like bursting sun and bursting center, um, earth. Okay, and the sun of life, um, the sun of life definitely correlates with enlightenment. And it has to do with what these stages and these realizations and these attitudes and these, acting upon your words bring you to. This is the state it will bring you to. All of the elements are in harmony. There's a complete newness. There's just completion everywhere you look in this photo. This man's eyes are closed and the sun is bursting behind him and his heart is burst open. It's like a heartgasm. It's like he's having an orgasm through his entire being, but like right at the heart. Like the heart is the source of that nirvana that he has. And I kind of see a correlation in the pictures here, honestly. It's like a man. It really is a man and a woman right here. I see the fire behind her, the cauldron that's showing like a white reflection. It's very beautiful. It's like she's taking care of that heart. She's over it. Like she's the divine feminine taking care of the heart. And a masculine figure that is benefiting from having his whole self be realized. It really is top of the mountain moment. It's like it's reaching nirvana. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit more to get more on the sun of life. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, it says the sun of life is connected to the green man and the green woman, all three representing the concept of fertility. Aha. Okay, so the green woman here. My trusty little green man here. Beautiful, beautiful. It is associated with the element of fire, the period of noon, and the gateway of the mind. The sun sends down energy and light that provides a source of light-enriching power to the cycle of human endeavor. It's like being given the necessary power to complete the journey. Or really, it's like a sense of completion there. It's almost like, I almost see like a final power up before the boss battle, or like your grand weapon before your final challenge. The description says, a glorious golden sphere, glowing white hot and filled with the churning matter of creation, rises over the landscape, filling the air with the power of our nearest star. Before it stands a figure with arms outstretched. The blessing of ancient sunlight shines within the figure's heart. Yes, I see the ancientness, definitely. I see the ancient prehistoric creature carved into the land before him. Now a hole that provides water to drink, and the ancestors that have carved upon the stones, all the way up to the newness of his life and that of the flowers that have just bloomed. Everything is present. Around the image, flowers burst into blossom, energized by the healing rays of the sun. The meaning, viewed as if from the center of the summer wildwood, the sun of life is surrounded by fecundity and growth. The power and importance of the sun cannot be overstaged as the bringer of life, warmth, and light into the human world. Many Stone Age sites were created to mark the rising of the sun, especially at midwinter. This was done not only out of respect for the various solar deities, but because the sun meant the coming of plentiful food and the return of life after death of the winter, the death of winter. It was a very real and practical salute to the source of primal power that meant survival and comfort during the warm months of the year, and to the ever-renewable promise of the sun's return after its sojourn below the horizon during the winter months. Without the light of the sun on our world, life would never have begun, let alone evolved into the vast, complex, and varied sprawl of fertility we now see across the face of the globe. On a more complex level of human consciousness, the Sun of Life represents the next steps into awareness of the universal mind. After the initial movement from the potential still point of the moon, the Sun beckons us beyond the Earth-lunar relationship to an awareness of concepts on a solar level. At the heart of the Sun is the secret process of nuclear fusion from which everything we perceive and comprehend on a physical galactic level was created and will one day return to. The figure at the heart of this process reminds us that we really are made of the matter of the universe. Our physical bodies were created from the waste matter of the cooling and turning of the sun. We are truly at one with the cosmos, and the same interactions between matter and energy that bind the sun together work both within and through us, moment by moment. Reading points. A powerful symbol of light and fertility, the Sun of Life heralds a season blessed with joyous enlightenment, robust health, and emotional harmony. As the glorious rays of cleansing sunlight spill into the shadows of your heart and life, so the warmth reaches into your very bones and energizes your spirit. It is time to let the inner sun at the core of your being shine for all to see, bringing warmth, light, and harmony to others, and by doing so, to connect the consciousness of the universal mind. To connect with the consciousness of the universal mind. The Sun of Life also beckons you to see beyond the noise and clatter of human reality and become aware of the vastness and generosity of the cosmic soul. The creative fire, the light of the land, the furnace of potential, the inner sun, the primal melting pot of matter and energy, the heart of eternal life. I really feel that. Okay. All right, thank you for sticking this far. I hope you feel great. About a few minutes. I'm going to pull some of the chakra energy cards now. I'm going to pull about 2 of them. Let's place these away. Thank you so much for your time. Okay. 1, we have the 4th chakra, heart chakra. Okay. Okay. He wanted to pop out, but I'll pull another. He wanted to pop out too. Okay, well that's like beginning, middle, and end here. Okay, so the 4th chakra came out first, followed by the 1st chakra and the 7th chakra. Okay. 4th chakra says, all of the hatred within me will be healed by the love of the creative force. The 1st chakra, the root chakra, and now you know the 4th is the heart chakra. 1st chakra says, I harmoniously live within the natural order of the creation. The 7th chakra, the opportunity for enlightenment is always right at the tip of my nose. So 34, 51, and 76. You know, it really doesn't get any more practical than this. This is something that is describing the entire being, where we're rooted into the earth, how we harmoniously live with natural order and the cycles that are expected given gravity and incarnation. Okay. And yet the opportunity to always see things at a higher perspective is right at our fingertips as we've grown and evolved to embody a higher stature and look up towards the sky and see how indeed all of these miracles are possible, because all they are at the end of the day is just science. And then our joy comes from the marriage between these two truths, the masculine and the feminine. For any conflict, we can discern any conflict as a power of growth, healing, and just a continuous and never-ending journey that is always enjoyed and here to feed us and not to destroy us. And when we have that, when we acknowledge that balance, that is experiencing the love and the truth of the creative force that's all within us. Okay? All right. All right, I really hope you all benefited from that. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'll be back with a very exciting announcement. You guys have a wonderful day. Bless. Okay? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.